So for this lesson, we're going to use an interactive clock like we've done on previous lessons. So I've gone into Google and I've typed in interactive clock, and I'm going to click on the first link here. Before I start anything, I'm going to remove this blue hand, the second hand, because we're not going to use it today. I'm going to go to Time and Style, and then click the second hand and click this X here, and that makes it go away. I also need to make sure it's set at 12. We're using a 12-hour clock, not a 24-hour clock this lesson. Okay, I'm going to set my clock for 9 o'clock. Okay, so we've talked about previously that in an hour there are 60 minutes, and each of these little lines here represent one of those minutes. When we're moving the minute hand around the clock, it would take a long time to count each minute, so I count in fives to make it easier. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So 60 minutes have passed, an hour has passed, and now it's 10 o'clock. You can see here on the digital clock, it shows 10 o'clock. If I move my minute hand 5 minutes to the 1, it is now 5 past 10. 5 minutes have passed since it was 10 o'clock. It's 5 past 10. And on the digital clock, it shows it as 10:05. If I move my minute hand another 5 minutes, the minute hand will now be pointing at the 2, and it will be 10 minutes after 10 o'clock. So it will be 10 past 10. On the digital clock, this is shown as 10:10. I'm going to move my minute hand 15 minutes now. 5, 10, 15. So now it has been 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes since it was 10 o'clock. So it's 25 past 10, or on the digital clock, 10:25. Oliver went out on his bike at 9 o'clock and came back at 9:25. How long was he out for? So I'm going to set the clock for 9 o'clock because that is what time Oliver went out. And he came back at 9:25. I'm going to count in fives until I get to 9:25 to find out how long he was out for. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it's now 9:25 or 25 past 9, and it has been 25 minutes. So Oliver must have been out for 25 minutes. Toby went swimming at 10 to 4 and stayed for 1 hour and 35 minutes. What time did he go home? So I've set my clock for 10 to 4. Now I know that in an hour there are 60 minutes, and when an hour has passed, the minute hand goes all the way round. So I'm not going to count in fives for this, I'm just going to move the minute hand all the way round back to the 10 again. So now it's 10 to 5, but Toby stayed for an extra 35 minutes. So I'm going to count in fives now until 35 minutes has passed. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So an hour and 35 minutes has passed, and the time is now 25 past 5. So if I move my hand back to here and count it in fives, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So it's 25 past 5. At 9:50, William started watching a football match. The match lasted for 90 minutes. What time did the game end? So I've set my clock here for 9:50 or 10 to 10. I know that in an hour there are 60 minutes, so I'm going to move my minute hand once around the clock to show 60 minutes have passed. So now it's 10:50 or 10 to 11, but the match was 90 minutes, so there's another 30 minutes to go. So I'm going to count in fives to show the time the match finished. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So the time now is 20 past 11, or 11:20, so the match must have finished at 11:20.